Hello everyone, this is Misfire, and welcome to the Angel combo video. Angels are my personal favorite archetype in the MonTac Trading Card Game, and I want to show them some love. Now, they have two general win cons, but they also have some pretty good tricks up their sleeve, some that most other archetypes cannot contend with. The big problem, though, is that they die to specialty removal, so playing 2 regeneration is an absolute must. But that's besides the point. Today, we're going to go over some of my favorite combos in the Angel archetype, as well as some neat little tricks that you can pull in said archetype that no other deck can possibly do. So that being said, let's get started. Our first combo is one of my personal favorite early game combos that Angels can do. And it's one that sets up the board quite nicely. Now, ideally you want to do this going second, but if you do it going first, then that's okay. While you aren't going to get the full value out of it, you are still going to get something. The thing that you're going to need is Forgotten Angel Zachariah. You need at least one way to get to Forgotten Angel. Whether it be through Kid Angel, Lucky 135, Monster Transfer, or Star Hand to get one of these 3 cards. Or if you happen to draw into the Forgotten Angel, you could use Divine Castle of Peace and Harmony. These are all possible options, but either way, you play one of those cards to get out your Forgotten Angel Zachariah. Then you use Forgotten Angel Zachariah's specialty, playing a card into the asset pile. While you could play the card that you just sent, you primarily use this for another tactic. So for this, let's go ahead and put in a Divine Sword. And from the asset pile, we'll go ahead and get out our Redeemed Angel Zachariah. Yes, you saw that correctly. Forgotten Angel Zachariah can actually cheat out synergies, even if you do not have the condition in the perished pile. So you can do this in the first turn of the game. With that, we will use Redeemed Angel to search our deck for 2 angels put into the asset pile. Here we're going to put in 2 Alfreds. You gain 2 health. These go to the asset pile, and you get yourself 2 attacks to use on the turn. So you can, if the opponent is left open, you can attack them directly twice, or you can attack some of their own monsters. Whatever the case may be, a Forgotten Angel Zachariah could easily help set up a very powerful asset pile for future plays. So with the Forgotten Angel Zachariah, I showed you that you could get out the Redeemed Angel and put cards into the asset pile. But what if you have 2 cards in your hand that you want in the asset pile, say Divine Sword and Divine Shield, for instance? Well, we can still use Lucky 135, Monster Transfer, Star Hand, whatever, in order to get out a Hotshot Angel Ryan from the asset pile instead. And with the Hotshot, when we use its specialty, we can put the cards directly into the asset pile from the hand. And then we can still play out our Redeemed, if we haven't already. And then with the Redeemed, we can still put in cards from the asset pile into the deck. Well, cards from the deck into the asset pile. That's what I meant to say, yeah. So we did the exact same thing here. Alternatively, you could use this to get out your Azrael's Chosen Angel Beowulf, which can then be used to send cards from the asset pile to the perished pile, i.e. stuff you're probably not going to use. Say, for instance, a Supreme Giant Conqueror, and maybe another angel that you sent. Then Beowulf goes to the asset pile. Why don't you put Supreme Giant Conqueror in the asset pile? Maybe you're not running Dragon Hunter. I don't blame you. I probably won't either. But it is a necessary condition for the big boss, so definitely keep an eye out for it. Okay, so now suppose that you are in a very tough spot. you have Redeemed Angel and Supreme Giant Conqueror in your perished pile. The opponent has Last Vanguard. Power doubled, timer removed due to its specialty. Well, there is one thing that can help you. Suppose you have a Dragon Conqueror Archangel Zacharias still in the perished pile. Well, still in the asset pile. But it's not enough to get over basically 9,100 power. So what do? Well, you play Dragon's Fire. It makes all monsters in the opponent's field Savage Dragons. And while you gain 1 health for each dragon you command, you actually want to use this to bring out the Dragon Conqueror Archangel Zachariah, which you can then use to send off all of your angels, all of your angel stuff, to make a timer of 5. But even better is that now Last Vanguard Gemini specialty is removed because we turned it into a dragon thanks to Dragon's Fire. This can allow you to get over Last Vanguard Gemini and potentially any other monsters that had a ridiculous amount of power before you used the Dragon's Fire. And then you can just swing at their face to deal a boatload of damage and potentially win the game outright. Alright, so our next combo is actually a hybrid of combos. We are going through the RKO out of nowhere. Basically, this allows Forgotten Angel Zachariah to do one thing that it is really good at, and it's one of the things that gives Angels a huge advantage over a lot of other archetypes. You see, most of our archetypes that are fighter-based are usually restricted to Arathor, Titus, and Deltro. But in Angels, you can play anything thanks to Forgotten Angel Zachariah. So let's assume our opponent has this massive board featuring 2 Axis creatures with 5,000 power and an inability to have their specialties removed, and a Blitz Kaiser with its timer removed, which can do a boatload of damage, and you don't have that many resources. So how do you get past such crazy things? Well, the answer is you don't. Usually. With that said, there are ways to get past quite a bit of these problematic cards. I mean, for one, we still have the Archangel in here, so if we could try to find a way to play that, then we're golden. To get rid of these Axate creatures once, but using the exact same trick that we had before, we can still get ourselves a Divine Castle. We still have a Divine Castle, Lucky, Kid, Monster Transfer, you name it. Chances are we can use it to get ourselves our Forgotten Angel Zachariah. Which we can then use to bring out any synergy from the asset pile. For this next one, let's go and say we have a Boss Destroyer in hand. We're going to do the most devastating of plays. Here we play the Impervious Gemini. If they don't have a Troshan Guard, this is getting Gemini. Because we're going to Boss Destroyer, double the power of the Blitz Kaiser, and then force it to perish. And becomes extinct, meaning that it can no longer come back. And they have to discard their hand because of Impervious Gemini. Okay, so what if they aren't being affected by Card Desk? What can we get instead? Well, we can get a Northern Air General. Northern Air General forces everything to perish. If I can get those to perish too, that would be great. It's probably going to take some time. There we go. All of it is gone. And then we can just attack with the Wolfman. And then by the end of the turn, we get our stuff back. This is one major advantage that the Angel Archetype has over basically every archetype in the game. They can use any synergy they want without having to sacrifice any real consistency, other than maybe losing out on a potential fighter. Because Zachariah basically can cheat them out. So you can even cheat out Supreme Dragon Conqueror if you want to. The only things you can't cheat out are Apexes, but granted, you aren't going to be playing most of the Apexes in the game anyway. Except for maybe Last Vanguard. That's the exception. And with that being said, this has been my Angel combo video. I hope you learned some from this. If you enjoyed it, be sure to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.